and talents into how they go out there and coach clients.
Right. Welcome all. Good to have you here in this session. I will just briefly, mention the topics that we are going to cover for today's webinar. This is to discuss about, the requirements for ACC renewal, and then talking about what are some of the requirements for ACC to PCC bridge. That is somebody who's already trained for their ACC and now is wanting to move to their PCC. Talking about the current paths to the ICF credentials and what is changing at the end of the year. We are soon going to start an executive coaching program. So Cindy will share with us the overview of that program. And then we'll talk also about the mentored evaluation program. So we'll take an overview of that program as well. Right. So just to start with, the ACC renewal, what this is about, like once you've got your ACC credential, every third year, you need to renew it from the ICF, right? So in order to get that renewal done, there are some requirements for that. You'll have to submit the online credential renewal application in your ICF portal with your registration. Then you have to go through a 10 hours of mentored coaching with an eligible mentor coach. That has to be spread over a period of 3 months, right? And you have to also complete 40 hours of the continuing coach education in the 3 years. The continued coach education 40 hours can be 24 hours has to be in core competencies, and the 16 hours can be in resource development or core competencies. So you can get these CCUs by attending our webinars, which happen on Wednesdays. Yeah, and of this 24 CCEs, one definitely is the 3 hours in coaching ethics. So in the ICF website, you will get that link where you can finish the free ethics course online, right? If you're and that's about this about the ACC renewal. On 28th of April, we are starting one program. People who have done, coaches who've done their training with another institute where the mentoring could not be covered, you're welcome to join this program as well. I'll just take a pause here. Cindy, do you want to add anything here?
Yeah, I want to encourage our participants, if they have questions, type it into the chat box, please, so that we can get your questions. And as we move along, we'll include your answers into our delivery or whatever we send. So far, I don't see any questions, but I'd love to hear from you. So everything that Smita said about the ACC mentoring and the program, the mentoring program that's going to start. Does anybody have any questions around that? If not, I think you covered that quite well, Smita. I don't need to say anything more about that. But I would say this, coaches, if you're unsure, pop a mail to Smita or me. We would type our email addresses into the chat box, and you're most welcome to connect with us, and we'll help you clarify.
Absolutely. So great. We are just moving forward, but whatever comes up, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and at the end of the webinar, we'll be happy to take those questions. Now, either you get your ACC renewal done or you can take up a program which is called the Bridge program with Coacharya. And what the requirements are for that program is you will need to complete 65 hours of training with us. The institute that you did your ACC training with, you need to submit that certificate to Coacharya. So literally just these two requirements that you need to meet in order to enroll for one of our bridge programs. Yeah. Now, once you have gone through the training with us, there are two pathways through which you can get your credential. One is called the ACSTH, which is the approved coach specific training hour path. And the other is the ACTP, accredited coach training program. Now, the difference between these two paths is in the ACSTH path, you would need to submit the final recording to ICF for evaluation, right? And in the ACTP path, there will be an additional 10 hours of mentored evaluation program. And we'll come to the details of this a little later in this webinar. Post that, the final recording evaluation and assessment of that would be done internally by Coacharya. And all you need to submit to ICF through this path is the certificate that you get from Coacharya. That would be all. And of course, the other formalities of completion of your 500 hours, etc. But in terms of the recording, you don't have to submit any recording to ICF. Yeah. Just again, pausing for a minute or so to check if anything comes up.
I can't see anything on the chat. No.
Okay.
Yeah, there is nothing there.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
All right, Cindy. So now can I, I know that we all know now some changes are going on with ICF, and by the end of this year, some things are changing. Do you want to, highlight some of the points as to what is changing?
So for the credential coach, for the coach that wants to credential, let me say it that way. You now have 3 levels of credentialing. And I'm sure many are familiar with it. If not, I will say it. You got level 1, which is your ACC level credentialing. Level 2, which is your PCC level. So the levels are attached to the credentialing title. And level 3, which is your MCC level. Now, each level has its requirements. Like, for example, level 1 is your 60-hour program with a few other requirements attached, like your mentoring requirement. And once you successfully complete it, you apply to ICF for your credentialing. Level 1, under the new system, will be evaluated by the coach training school. So no need anymore to submit recordings to ICF, because they would be done internally by the coach training school evaluators. And of course, you will just apply to ICF for the credentialing, the ACC credentialing. And ICF will also ask you to take the CKA exam. CKA is the old language or the current language. The new exam language under level 1, 2, and 3 is called the credentialing exam. CKA will follow it. The exam is now called credentialing exam. Just a change of words. So level 2 for the coach would be, if you've done an ACTP program, you'll know more about what I mean for the level 2. It's very similar, very similar. The coach training school may offer you a 125-hour program or around there. They'll design this program for you. And of course, inclusive in it, you'll do the evaluation, you'll do your mentoring, meet all requirements as stipulated by the coach training school. And once you have done that and passed your performance exam, you apply to ICF for your PCC. The only level that where the recordings are still to be recording and transcripts are still to be submitted to ICF is your level 3, your MCC level. That is still assessed and evaluated under the portfolio route. Yeah. So remember, level 1, level 2 under the new system is done internally by a coach training school, and you meet all requirements set out. Level 3, you will do training, mentoring with whichever training school you're buying the program from. And of course, then you will, your trainer and mentor would help you get ready for your evaluation. I don't know about other coach training schools. I can say for Coacharya, we have a very robust program in place for helping a coach get ready for the MCC credential. And many of you that have done mentoring individual sessions, you will know we normally do 3. Our program is designed to allow you 6 individual sessions that you would get mentored on to help you for your MCC level credentialing. And, together with your mentor, you can look at which is the best ones you want to send it off to ICF, and then wait for the word from ICF, whether you have passed or what's your next steps. Any questions around that? Any questions you have on the different levels?
Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, there was one question here, and I think it is an important one for us to share it with everyone. Is about for somebody whose credentials are expiring, do they go for ACC renewal, or they can enroll for PCC directly?
For MCC.
For ACC, if their credentials are about to expire, do they go for ACC or for renewal, or can directly apply for the bridge program? They can join the bridge program with us.
You can, yes, you can join the bridge program. Sorry, because you are a credential holder, so of course you can join the bridge program, and Coacharya will take a copy of your certificate and keep it for record purposes. Of course, you can do that. The same with MCC. It says you will hold the PCC credentialing currently or even in the past. You must have held a PCC. Okay, for you to join an MCC program.
Wonderful. All right. So one of the pathways is about a program which is soon going to start. Cindy, I would really like to talk about the executive coaching program that you're starting. So who is this program for?
So this is an advanced program, Smita, but it's got a specific theme. It's so interesting. We added a theme to it, since what we have noticed is a fair amount of coaches do executive coaching, meaning work with your more senior managers, CEOs, and junior managers are included. So we have designed a program with that in mind. So the content of the program is very diverse and covers a range of topics that addresses the way a coach would work with a client and what shows up for that executive client. So I'll be quite deliberate in how I say this. So the coach is gaining new skill sets or enhancing skill sets they already have in working with executive clients. And of course, the recipient of the coaching, it's a more powerful, evoking process for them. So it's for coaches that have an interest in executive coaching. Even if you're not doing, you're not coaching executives right now, but that's your big interest, you can still buy this program or still join this program. And within this program, your competency skill set is well, we unpack it with you in a very experiential learning way. So it deepens your understanding, evokes some awareness, lots of potential begins to show up in the coach. So it's for current coaches doing the program or current coaches doing executive coaching, or coaches interested in coaching.
Okay.
And maybe, executives also who want to sharpen the skill set can also buy this program. Smita?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Cindy, just something interesting you said there was somebody who has not coached executives, but who is wanting to, coach the executives. So
Yes.
how will, this program really help those coaches?
It builds a lot of confidence. So, from my experience, many coaches want to coach executives, but they always sharing, I don't know whether I have the confidence to do that. What if I don't know, enough about what executives want to be coached on, like the strategies and goals and planning. So it builds your confidence. It improves those leadership skills that you will be working with executives. Your levels of awareness, it raises, awareness on multiple levels, meaning what are you listening for in around thinking, feelings, body language that are showing up, all within the context of what the client wants, what the executive wants to work on. There's a fair amount of work on energy, empathy. And of course, a coach wanting, interested in doing executive coaching sometimes shy away from the topic because they don't know whether they would have that particular language to talk the topic or talk executive coaching. This program will equip you with that.
Amazing. Also about, yes, you said coaches can join this program. So will it mean that this is for someone who's already got their credentials at the ACC and can only join, or somebody who's just finished their training are also eligible for this program?
Absolutely. So it can be a coach that has not done a Coacharya foundation program. You're most welcome to join. And if you're having questions, or if you have questions and need to have a discussion, you're most welcome to do so with Smita or I or anybody in the office. So a new coach just coming out of 60 hours of training is most welcome to buy the program, join the program, and step into the advanced program. So it's your next 65 hours. Like you got 60, it's your next 65 to make 125 to get you ready for PCC. So coming back to the question Smita asked, yes, if you're coming out of training, you're most welcome to join. Also, if you've taken a break for quite some time and now wanting to move into the PCC pathway to get ready for PCC, join the program. Of course, we'll do a lot of competency work built into the content of the program. So you're going to get a good sense of coaching competencies, a deep dive into it, deepening your understanding, capacity around competencies, and most important, how to apply this with the clients in coaching.
All right. So somebody who's got their ACC credentials, say through some route, like either a portfolio route or a ACSTH route, does it limit in any way to join for this program, for the executive coaching program, and apply via either ACSTH or ACTP? So does this have any connection, the earlier ACC credential, does it have any connection as to through which path can they apply for PCC? Does it limit in any way?
No, it's not limiting you in any way. You can buy those as 65 hours of ACSTH. That means you're not on an ACTP path, right? You can buy those 65 hours of ACSTH, and you as the coach may want to do your own recordings. Of course, we'll do enough competency work on this program. So you may want to do your own recordings, transcripts, and submit it to ICF. Built into the program, we have individual mentoring sessions with participants. So of course, I'll be mentoring you. So you can just buy the program as a standalone, 65 hours, apply to ICF with your recordings, and of course, await their response to your credentialing. Then you may decide, I have some ACSTH done years ago, but I think I now want to transition into the ACTP pathway. And it doesn't matter which coach training school that you have trained with. It doesn't matter that you have not trained with Coacharya, it's still okay. You will have your certificates. Then you can speak to somebody at the office, Smita or I, who will show you the pathway you can take now to transition into an ACTP program. And your evaluation will be done internally, meaning no recordings to ICF. The internal evaluator for Coacharya will evaluate you.
Amazing. Okay, Cindy, just going back to the earlier point that you made around what this program will give one coach is about honing their leadership skills as well, right? Like apart from what we cover in our advanced program, this will really help the coaches to hone their leadership skills, give them that confidence to coach executives, even though maybe they didn't have that experience. Can you throw some more light just to to say that how will it distinguish more from the vanilla advanced program and this one, which is more a niche into executive coaching?
Yeah, it is a niche. And again, it stems from the fact that many coaches love to do corporate coaching, coaching in the workplace, executive coaching, very similar approach. And this program draws a distinction also where the coach is the professional in coaching. The coach knows how to coach, irrespective of what the niche is. But this is a special niche that builds and enhances confidence in the coach that already knows some coaching, but just wondering about, can I do executive coaching? So that to answer that question, the content, competency, models, theories, systemic team coaching have all been designed to answer that question. How confident am I? Or am I good enough to do executive coaching? And just also to let you know that one of the things we do within the program right up front is encourage you to get an executive client. Whether it's a paid client, pro bono client, it doesn't matter, but you work with that client just to get a more practiced sense of how this is how it will work, or this is what the executive may raise when I'm out there coaching executives. And for those of you that are confidently coaching executives, then of course this will just do more increased levels of awareness, confidence, motivation to take on more, do more, deepen your understanding into more. So it's for both. the coach that's doing executive coaching and the coach that wants to do executive coaching.
So it's, they're learning, and while the learning is still going on, they have this live practice with an executive, and that's what our invitation would be.
Yes, and the program, the experiential learning part of the program, coaches, the learning opportunities include the exercises that you would be doing, some in class, some outside class, discussions. Discussions are quite robust and they help you broaden your thinking because there's other people's points of view there. So we all like thought leaders discussing a particular topic and of course posing some arguments around it. Then there'll be peer practicing. You'll do a case study, and towards the end of the program, you'll be crafting your own model for coaching. So it's not about the delivery of the model, it's more about how you're going to wrap around all your analytical thinking, creative thinking that we spoke about in the program into something that you're designing for yourself.
Wonderful. So the leaders get a platform where there are other leaders and you get to brainstorm. You get to, you're invited to get an executive paid or pro bono, and you practice as you're learning in the class.
Yes.
All right, Cindy, there is a question here for us, which is about how one chooses ACTP over ACSTH route and vice versa. What are the relative benefits and recommendations? Do we require coach training for both? Is there a difference in cost? Yeah.
Yeah. You want go ahead, Smita. Go ahead.
Okay, so the thing is really about if you want to apply and submit your recording to ICF, it's only that, it takes a longer time for ICF to evaluate and get back to us, right? So it is, and ACTP is in this path is where you will be in touch with the mentor coach, where you will get direct feedback as to, what are your areas of improvement? What are the strengths that you can celebrate, right? So it's the benefits is really about in the ACTP path, you get to do a back and forth at least once or twice, whereas in case of the ACTH, you just submit to ICF and based on, whenever they come back, you get the results. You of course require a coach training for both the parts. The training is a must. It's just about the evaluation process, which is different. So in one case, the evaluator is the ICF, and in the other case, which is the ACTP, the evaluator is, within Coacharya. It happens within the institute. Yeah. Cindy, you want to add anything out there?
Yeah. So coaches, from what Smita just said, you can draw some conclusions here, right? An ACTP program, the training school has gone through a robust process where they are allowed to evaluate learners at that particular level. Like for you, PCC level, that's why it's called the ACTP. It's 100 hours of 125 hours of training, meeting all the competency work, the self-learning work, the mentoring work, and of course, an evaluation program. The evaluation is done by a qualified evaluator within the coach training program, designated evaluator. And as Smita said, on an ACSTH program, you may not have gone through this robust work, meaning now your recordings, you're doing it on your own, so it's now gone to ICF for their evaluators to evaluate you, because perhaps in the way you did your training, you were not given that kind of evaluation process. Many a times, both an ACSTH and the ACTP have mentoring built into the program. But it's up to you as a coach to check if that has happened for your training. Okay? Please ensure that you have checked. For example, our learners in a Coacharya learners on a 60-hour program, the foundation program, mentoring is built into it. So mentoring is inclusive in it. So that, and of course, some homework like submitting of recordings for observed session is all built in. And such a coach, if they've already done around 100 hours of client hours and take the, they want to now apply to ICF for your ACC, they would apply on their certificate, you saying the certificate is now ACSTH, right? And they would apply to ICF. But if that learner decides now a month later, I'd rather just go, I've been doing a lot of more coaching and I want to go the ACTP path, then that coach, that learner will then buy 65 hours of program. So they will take the ACSTH and they'll take the 65 they bought, combined now, Coacharya would help them combine it, and they would be on an ACTP path.
Right.
So
Great.
that's an internal evaluation.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
The name of the person who asked the question is not here, but just let us know in case you have a follow-up question, and we'll be happy to take it.
Yeah.
Cindy, just going.
In the,
yeah, go ahead.
In the chat box. Smita, is the question in the chat box? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did take that question right now.
Okay.
All right, Cindy, just again going back to the executive coaching program is about, many a times coaches want to know that what they are getting into, right? In terms of, there will be live sessions, of course, but in between the two sessions, what is it they need to be prepared for in terms of time investment and what needs to happen in between the two sessions?
Sorry, say that again, Smita. I just noticed that when I put our emails address on, I did it for panelists and O's. That means not everybody saw that already. Sorry, I just noticed that and didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just repeat the question. So what I was asking is, many a time coaches want to know that what they are getting into, right? Like in terms of, apart from the live sessions that they need to attend, what is it that will happen in between, the two classes? So what is it that they need to get prepared for in terms of time investment, or what is the additional work in the asynchronous work that they need to do?
That's for your ACC or your for ACTP?
For the bridge, for the executive program that they will
okay,
start.
mine.
Yeah.
So the homework, so my program has got a very good structure to it already. So if anybody wants it, can you just send us an email and I'll send you the program design. And the program is structured with both synchronous, asynchronous education hours. So ICF is not calling it training hours anymore. It's education. The word is education instead of training. Of course, you can still use training, but the more preferred word is education. So just to go back, there are content that we're going to discuss in class. The content, of course, is the core competencies are built around the content or included in it. It's not like a detached, it's an attached conversation. And we'll be talking about theories, approaches that support executive coaching, models for change, ethical coaching within the corporate and business context, critical thinking, decision-making. I'm just going to go through quickly the content. Systemic team coaching, meaningfulness and spirituality in coaching, course, you know, a lot of executives talk about their purpose,
Yeah.
meaningfulness. So then we've got diversity, equity, inclusion, collaboration as a topic, trust and empathy and understanding in executive coaching. So the whole thing around trust in executive coaching is quite a significant topic around the senior managers and executives, especially when there's many stakeholders involved. And we'll cover your leadership skills, mindset, how to help your executive design a progressive growth path, challenges, issues, blocks, blind spots. Of course, leading self, leading others. So we talk about self-awareness, self-care, self-manage. And then, so that's around the content. All participants will do some mentor coaching session and 2 observed sessions within the program. So 2 observed sessions, that means 2 recordings, just to kind of do some developmental ongoing work so you can get feedback from your mentor. That'll be me. Each participant will do a case study. This will be sent to you prior to the start. And instructions on the case study, what to expect, will also be discussed. You'll get smaller pieces of assignment work, like more thought-provoking stuffs. But they are smaller pieces and wouldn't take up too much time. You'll do some peer coaching, and they will be pre-session readings. Now, you can do the reading in your as you go along. You can do the reading in a big chunk. That's up to you. This is advanced coaching. A lot we trust that the coach already has management plans around. How long would it take you? So besides sitting in a class that's 3 hours long, once a week, so you've got 3 hours once a week, you also may have between 2 to 3 hours of work, either peer coaching. If you want to do more, that is also up to you. You'll just be learning more for yourself, but at a minimum, another 3 hours. Because that's the way it's designed. 50% synchronous, 50% asynchronous. At a minimum, please feel free to do more work. We have a lovely learner management system that you'll get a link to, and you can enjoy yourself.
All right. So leaders, corporate leaders who want to really, enhance your leadership skills in your current roles. If you're looking to upgrade from ACC to PCC, then I think this program is just the right fit. And Cindy, as you said, 3 hours of self-study, right? Like in between the 2 sessions, and we have the LMS, of course, which has rich resource materials in there. Wonderful. Anything else, Cindy, that you would like to cover before we move to another very important program, which is about the mentor evaluation program?
I'd like to ask our coaches online, do you have any questions? Anything you want some explaining on? Well,
free to ask your question. Yeah, and we can just allow you to talk and ask your question if you wish to.
Yeah, so I've put Smita and my email addresses into the chat box. So feel free to reach out. I can see many familiar faces here already, like perhaps a learner of Coacharya, or you may have been on our webinars.
Right.
So we just got one more piece to talk about, Smita. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just one more piece around the mentored evaluation program, which we were just talking about, the two paths, which is the ACSTH path and the ACTP path. And in order to qualify for the ACTP path, there is a additional 10 hours of mentored evaluation program, which is, which we do it. And Cindy is the facilitator for this program. Cindy, do you, want to talk as to what is it that is covered during those 10 hours? Just for the coaches to know that 10 hours is actually split into 7 and 3, and 7 hours is in group sessions, and 3 hours is totally one-on-one with Cindy. So as a part of what's covered in the 7 hours, Cindy, can you just throw some light there?
Yeah, it's a flagship program. Like the coach training school, Coacharya, has designed a program for an evaluation process for the coach to be ready and pass the PCC level. So we have a program design. You don't have to worry that you're going to leave you on your own to get your recording done, submit to the evaluator. You're well supported in this process. And it's called our MEP, Mentor Evaluation Process. It's made up of two parts here. One is the mentoring and the group mentoring, individual mentoring, together mentoring or mentor coaching. And then there's an evaluation process, meaning the coach is invited to submit the recording and you'll get a results on the recording. You'll do your transcript and Coacharya or I will upload it all into our systems and we'll have it verified by our standards director. And then it's now ready, meaning you'll get a congratulations email, you have passed, you'll get a lovely report on that evaluation, on all core competencies covered. And once that is done, that evaluation is done, Coacharya will check that all your training requirements are in place and completed, and of course send you your certificate, ACTP certificate. Then of course application is very easy and definitely less than 2 weeks. So you'll apply to ICF, it's a 2-week process before you get awarded PCC. I think you were asking me another question here. What is so this MEP now prepares you for, it's a transition from the learner coach. So you're not referenced as the learner anymore. You're now transitioning into becoming a PCC coach. And sometimes when you're in training for quite some time, like 8 months or so in a training program, it's quite easy to get used to all the training support around you. One of the things we do in the MEP is the transition from a learner into a PCC coach. And that's done in quite a robust way, meaning, coaches normally love that, the model on that. It also increases your confidence. Like, I'm going to go out there and be a PCC coach. And it increases your confidence around that. And of course, the one thing coaches love is also to be on this learning journey and do a kind of an evaluation. Many love it, even though they get nervous about it, because that gives them a clear indicator. Look up, I've done this, I've done it well too, and I've passed. Yeah. And that just boosts their confidence and capabilities and talents into how they go out there and coach clients.
Like in one of the core competencies, embodying the coaching mindset, and Cindy's MEP program is all about embodying all the markers of the ICF. So, Cindy, so this is a really the pathway for ACTP, right? MEP program is the icing on the cake for the ACTP path.
It's a very popular Coacharya program because yeah, as you know, most of our coaches love to do this and do this as the evaluation program. So INSA called it our flagship. Yeah, but this would take you, as you're saying, Smita, this would take you to your ACTP pathway and the completion of that level 2 or the PCC level credentialing.
So a coach who's done ACC and maybe a 30-hour program with another ACTP institute now wants to apply for PCC. Can they join the executive coaching program for 30 hours?
Yes. Yes, you can. I'll put an exit plan for you. You will still have one recording done within the 30 hours, and you will still have mentored feedback for that session. So you'll do one recording, one transcript. So you're going to leave with like a robust 30-hour program.
Wonderful. So the coach takes the 30 hours you plan for their exit, and then they can take the 10 hours of the mentored evaluation program and then apply to ICF.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Right. Participants today, do you have any other question? Cindy, I think we covered everything that we planned for today's informative session on the ACC renewal and the ACC to PCC bridge, and about the executive coaching program, which can help them for the PCC application. Is there anything else that we want to cover? Are we good to close the session today?
I see there's a number of coaches on the line that I kind of get a sense who's bought a bouquet of programs, they've done different trainings. If you're uncertain, have a chat with Smita and she'll help you put it all together and tell you what your next steps and what programs you can purchase.
Right. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Smita.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.